The stock market has an absolutely massive day tomorrow, and there are a couple of things that you guys need to understand going into tomorrow's trading day. So if you guys are ready to get prepared, make sure you guys hit that like button down below and subscribe for more videos like this. So if you guys did not know, tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, we're going to be getting Jerome Powell's statements from the Jackson Hole Symposium. Now, typically at this event, what we see is more longer time frame guidance from the Fed on where they see sort of the economy and any monetary policy actions that they are going to need to undertake going through that time frame. We pretty much have a good understanding of what the Fed is looking at in the short term, but this event is going to kind of serve for more longer time guidance from the Fed, which is going to be incredibly important. And we have seen a little bit of volatility and chop due to this event coming tomorrow. So let's get right into it here. Looking at kind of the statements from the Fed, we also kind of have to take a look at what is actually going on with the market. So when coming over to the chart of the SPY here on the daily time frame, we're seeing a couple of very important things. Now, going back a couple of weeks, we ended up seeing this pretty significant drop down to these recent lows. Now, at that time, we also saw about a 10-year record high in short interest coming into the market. Those shorts got squeezed out, and we rallied all the way back up to that 430 431 level. Now, we did also pass that pretty significant options expiration date too, coming in August, and then we ended up selling back off. Now, when you throw this on the 4-hour time frame as well here, you can kind of see this kind of painted out a little bit better. In this area too is one that I really want you guys to really keep in mind, because right now where we're sitting with the market, we're just above this previous chop zone that we were seeing at the beginning of June before we saw this 1348 cross down, painted the entire picture for us, and we ended up making those new lows. And again, guys, this strategy is incredibly powerful. If you guys do want access to the predictive algorithms, the most powerful tool that retail investors have at this moment, make sure you guys check out that link down below. All of the alerts are there too. The private live streams, the curriculum videos, the options data. Again, guys, if you want to come to the best place to learn how to trade, make sure you check that out down below. But when looking at the overall market here, we have this key level right around this 410 that we have recently bounced off of, and we're chilling right above this zone here where we previously had a lot of buyers and sellers transacting, trying to figure out who was going to essentially win, and then they knocked it right back down. Now, tomorrow with the Fed, if we start to get some more good news and the market reacts pretty well, we're going to see the market most likely rally. And if we start to see some hawkish statements come out and the market doesn't like what Powell has to say, then we are most likely going to come down pretty significantly. But there are some things about tomorrow that I want you guys to be very, very focused in on. The first thing is that since these statements are coming out at 10 a.m. Eastern, it's probably a good idea if you guys are going to be day trading to maybe hold off until we get a clear indication of how the market is reacting to Powell. Now, those of you guys that are already in the group with us, you guys are going to see a lot of alerts coming through left and right, especially when Powell starts speaking and makes any statements. So again, just wait and see until Powell really kind of gives the indication of kind of what side of the fence he's on, which we're going to talk about in a second. And make sure that you are seeing which way the market is going to be picking. And we're going to be live for this with all of you guys tomorrow as well. Now, coming over to this article here, there's a couple of things that we need to focus in on. Jerome Powell faces tough crowd in Jackson Hole after inflation errors. Major credibility test for the Fed chair as the U.S. central bank plays catch up to tame soaring prices. Now, this is not a great period for the Fed right now, not just because the challenges are tremendous, but I think the Fed has also made some missteps, said by Ellen Mead, who served as senior advisor to the central bank's board of governors until 2021. Now, if you look through a lot of the statements that are being made about Jackson Hole, there's a lot of conflicting beliefs. There are some people on one side of the fence that are a little bit more dovish, seeing all of the economic indicators, the home sales data. You're starting to see the GDP as well with the double negative print coming out I believe last month. And a lot of people are saying, well, it might be time to kind of start on that soft landing by slowing down raising interest rates, not stopping the raise of interest rates, but actually slowing them down. But they run a couple of key risks here. When we come down a little bit further, let's see if I can find exactly where this is right here. The bigger risk is that they reverse too soon, not that they tighten for too long, said Charles Plosser, who served as the president of the Philadelphia Fed from 2006 to 2015. What he's talking about here is that it's not so much a risk that they're going to go too far with interest rate increases. Again, you are going to see home prices start to come down just based on the fact that people aren't going to be able to afford the same level of mortgage that they were previously. And we talked about that in the video yesterday. You're going to see GDP start to come down. You will see a lot of these things, but that's not what the biggest risk here is in this individual's opinion. It's actually not taming inflation. So there's a couple of things that we need to focus in on here when we are going into Powell tomorrow. There's kind of three outcomes. The middle is most likely what we are going to see. Powell is most likely going to try and maintain his neutral status and say, hey, we're going to look at the data as it's coming in and make our decisions accordingly to all of the data points that we have access to at that given time. On the other side, though, if he's going to be a little bit hawkish, he could come out and say, hey, inflation really isn't coming down as fast as we want to. We are going to persist with essentially the same amount of interest rate hikes going forward. We might get that 75 basis point hike in September versus the potential for a 50. And that is one option that the market could potentially sell off on. Or based on some of the other data points coming out with the overall economic slowdown that we are seeing, Powell could come out and say, well, even though inflation is still running high, it is slowly coming back down. And if we continue to raise interest rates, we are going to see that slow down over the next couple of quarters. It might be time to start backing off on how aggressive we are in these interest rate hikes. Now, that's going to be what the market is really kind of basing its opinion on tomorrow, because we don't necessarily know which side of the fence he's on. Is he sitting on the top, right in the middle? Is he on the hawkish side, or is he on the more dovish side? So those are a couple of the things that I want you guys to keep a lookout for going forward. The other thing is the Fed going to stick to their guns here? Is the overall sentiment towards the Fed, towards kind of the data and the policy actions towards the Fed, is that sentiment going to be respected? Are we going to see the Fed come out and do what it said it's going to do? That's another thing that we need to think about as well. Overall, they do have that mandate from back in 2021 to get interest rates up to a certain point, try to slow down inflation, and we're really going to wait and see if Jerome Powell is actually going to come out and stick to his guns. So again, there is a lot of uncertainty going into tomorrow, but again, wait till the data comes out, see how it ends up, and then make your decisions accordingly. So that is going to wrap up this video for you guys. If you did enjoy the information and analysis that I provided for you guys in this video, if you wouldn't mind going down and hitting that like button on this video, helps out a whole lot with the algorithms over here. And if you guys do want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every single time I post a new video. If you want to join us for that live stream tomorrow, remember that link is down in the description below. But other than that, guys, I hope you are having a great evening. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.